So a big deal is being made about Hillary Clinton allegedly throwing Joe Biden under the bus. Now, did she actually do that? Well, I'll walk you through it. We'll look at her comments in its full context, and we can determine here. So here's a headline in Fox News. Hillary Clinton says Biden's age is a legitimate issue. Quote, people have every right to consider it. Clinton's comments are a departure from other Democrats. Now, that's all true, right? Other Democrats are like, age? Age? I don't even talk about age. I don't even know what age is. Age ain't nothing but a number. And I don't mean that in the creepy way. I mean that, look away. Look away, he's fine. There's nothing wrong with him. Everybody shut up. So it is true. That's the reaction from other Democrats. But Hillary was a little more straightforward than that. She was a little more straightforward than that. So here's what they say. Hillary Clinton weighed in on concerns surrounding President Biden's age, saying it's a legitimate issue and people have every right to consider it. Clinton made the under-the-radar comments on Saturday at the Financial Times Weekend Festival in Washington, D.C., when questioned about Biden stumbling at the G7 summit in Japan. Now, by the way, they call it under-the-radar comments. Ain't nothing under the radar about it. Go to Google, type in Hillary Biden age, click the news section, and then keep scrolling. You'll be scrolling for a long time because everybody and their mother is talking about this. Quote, there was that heart-stopping moment when he almost fell over coming down the stairs a day or two ago. Financial Times editor Edward Lucci, I don't know how you say it, said, quote, he didn't use a railing and Jill wasn't there with him. Every time that happens, your heart is in your mouth because these things could be consequential. Is that a concern? He asked. Clinton responded, it's a concern for anyone. We've had presidents who had fallen before who were a lot younger, and people didn't go into heart palpitations. But his age is an issue, and people have every right to consider it, Clinton added. But, you know, he has this great saying, and I think he's right, don't judge him for running against the almighty, but against the alternative. I am of the camp that I think he's determined to run. He has a good record that 3 years ago people would not have predicted he would have gotten done. He doesn't get the credit yet for what is happening out in the country in terms of jobs and growth and planning for the future with CHIPS, that's the CHIPS Act, and other stuff, Clinton added. So I obviously hope he stays very focused and able to compete in the election because I think he can be reelected, and that's what we should all hope for. So look, as you can see, you got to keep it real. The headlines are a little misleading. The headlines make it seem like Hillary was like, yeah, his age is a big problem, and it might be determinative. Like that's the taste that's left in your mouth. Or even, potentially, this is the interpretation I've seen a lot of people run with, oh, Hillary's saying this because she's gonna run. Like, she's going to try to swoop in there, say, hey, I'm here, I'm younger, I'm more with it, now is my time. If you read the comments in their totality, as I just did for you, that's not really what she's saying. Saying, yeah, he's old, people can consider it, but I like his record, he has a good record, he's clearly going to run, and I hope he wins. So people are sort of misstating it. Now, by the way, God, this is the part that drives me so goddamn crazy. When we were talking about Bernie Sanders in the last election cycle, everybody in mainstream media, oh, too old, way too old, look at him, just look at him, so old. And they ruled him out based on that fact alone. Now that it's Biden, they're like, oh, age, I don't know, talk about age. What is age? Age doesn't even matter at all, bro. So look, you want to know my take? My take is very simple. When it comes to age, I genuinely don't care. It's not about age. It's about ability to do the job, ability to have your brain function, ability to get through a full sentence, ability to not fundamentally end up like Dianne Feinstein in 7.5 minutes. So I don't care about age. You can imagine an 85-year-old, hell, a 90-year-old who's still mentally with it enough where they can do the job. Because fundamentally, what's the job? The job is, governing the country, passing laws, setting an agenda. You can do that. Our best president ever was in a goddamn wheelchair. FDR. So you can do that. Age is not the problem. The problem is, how with it are you mentally, number one. But number two, also, what's your agenda? The specifics of the agenda really are the determinative factor in every single election, in my opinion. And I think that should be the case for all serious people. Let me see your policy agenda. Let me see what you're going to fight for. Do I believe you that this is what you're going to fight for? And if that's the case, hey, you got my support. But this is an instance where, with Bernie, oh my God, age, get out of here, you're too old. With Biden, oh, age isn't even a problem at all, bro. But we all know the reason why the media is really doing that, right? Because most of mainstream media, with the exception of Fox News, who are Republican propagandists, they are corporate Democrat propagandists. That's what they are. And so they're going to defend Biden come hell or high water, even though there is a colossal track record. There's reports he can't have meetings after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Why? Because that's what happens with old people. They fade early, man. They fade really early. With Dianne Feinstein, what they say, like 12 o'clock in the afternoon, you can't have a conversation with her. You can't have her do worse stuff. How long until Biden's at that place? How long? But look, the main point of this story here, Hillary's right in saying, like, look, voters can consider it and will consider it, right? Like, it's okay for them to do that. She's correct in that, but she also went on to defend him. And it doesn't look like there's any inkling if she's going to jump in, she's going to try to undercut him. If there was that chance, oh, you bet your ass cheeks I'd be out here saying that, because that would be a juicy story. And that would also make me colossally depressed. Imagine, oh my God. We're talking about a Biden versus Trump rematch, which is depressing enough. A Hillary versus Trump rematch? Oh. I mean, the point can't be made enough, right? There's over 300 million people in this country, over 320 million people in this country. And this is the best we could do. This is the best. But that's what happens when money corrupts our politics. And the economic royalists get the first say in who gets treated seriously. This is where we are. Because these are the defenders of capital, come hell or high water. So anyway, there you have it. Hillary's comments are getting a little bit misinterpreted here. I understand what she was trying to say, but fundamentally, it's very clear she still supports Biden. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.